Good day, Deep in Word family. Welcome to day 85 of our Bible study review. Today we are going through chapters 13 through 15 of 1 Samuel. Yesterday we left off. There was a warning from Samuel from the mouth of Yahuah that if the people and or the king ever fell away from the command of Yahuah, that they would be swept away. Now we're opening up chapter 13 and we see that Saul, he has 3,000 men getting ready to go to war against the Philistines. 2,000 men are with him and 1,000 men are with his son, Jonathan. Jonathan struck the wall post at Geba, and all of the Philistines heard about it. So the Philistines started gathering together their army. They had 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen. And so Israel saw them coming in great numbers. And it says that Israel was hiding out in caves and in cisterns. They were getting desperate. Now Saul is in Gilgal and he's waiting for Samuel to come. Samuel said, "Wait for me for 7 days, and when I come, I will offer up a burnt offering and sacrifice to Yahuah." Well, Saul is seeing the enemy come closer and closer and closer. So he decides to go against the command and offer up the burnt offerings himself. And then Samuel shows up and he says, "What have you done?" Let's read verses 13 and 14. Samuel said to Saul, "You have done foolishly. You have not kept the commandment of Yahuah your Elohim, which he commanded you. Truly now Yahuah would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. But now your kingdom will not continue. Yahuah has sought for himself a man after his own heart, and Yahuah has commanded him to be the prince over his people, because you have not kept that which Yahuah has commanded you." In chapter 14, we see that Jonathan, Saul's son, he has success in bringing down the garrisons of the Philistines. And the children of Israel were low on weaponry, so we see that Saul is calling for a priest to bring out the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of Elohim. And so that day, Yahuah was on their side, and he allowed them to defeat the Philistines. I see the mercy of the Father because he already rejected Saul, but he's still protecting his nation as a whole. Although Israel is winning the battle, right? They are now distressed because they are starving. Saul made them undergo an oath not to eat anything until nightfall. And so they are ravished. And it says that his son Jonathan was in the wilderness and he started tasting honey. His son did not know that he made this rash oath on the people. So we see after the day of battle, because they're so hungry, they take the spoils of the sheep and the ox, and they start eating them with the blood in it. And so this word got back to Saul. Saul told the people to stop. He says, "Bring the fatted calves, bring the oxen, bring them here." He goes, "I'll slaughter them. Do not eat it with the blood in it. This is a great sin." So all of the people brought their fatted calves and sheep, and Saul built an altar to Yahuah, and he slaughtered the animals there. And so the people ate properly, and we see that Saul continued and said, "Let us go up, let us continue to defeat the Philistines until the morning." And they said, "Whatever's right in your eyes." The priest that was with Saul said, "Let's seek Yahuah on the matter." And so Saul called upon the name of Yahuah, but he did not answer him that day. Let's read verse 38. Saul said, "Come here, all of you leaders of the people, and observe and see how this sin has come about this day. For as Yahuah lives, who saves Israel, even if it is Jonathan my son, he will surely die." But there was not one who answered him from among the people. Saul was trying to seek out the answer. He was trying to find out what was this great sin that offended Yahuah. And so he started casting lots. And the lot ended on his son, Jonathan. And he asked him, "What did you do?" He was like, "I did not know that you had this rash oath." He goes, "I ate some honey. It's a day of battle. It's a day of war." And so he tells his son, he goes, "You shall surely die." But the children of Israel stand up for Jonathan. And they're like, "Shall he die? He worked such a great salvation in Israel today." The people stood up against King Saul and they said, "You will not harm one hair on his head today. Oh, he is not dying today." King Saul left that place and he continued to go to war against his enemies on all sides. Now we open up chapter 15 and we see that Samuel goes to Saul and he says, "Look, I have been sent to anoint you to be the king over Israel." He says, "Now listen to the words of Yahuah." He says, "I remember the sin of Amalek when the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt, how he laid wait to attack my people." Verse 3. "Now go and strike Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and do not have compassion on them, but put to death both man and woman, child and infant, ox and sheep, camel and donkey." Basically, he's saying obliterate everything. He goes, "I remember the sin when I was delivering Israel out of the hand of Pharaoh and how they had no compassion on you whatsoever." He goes, "It's payday for them now." From the word of Yahuah, through the mouth of Samuel, he is telling King Saul, "I want you to pay back these sins." Saul then goes and he gives a warning to the Kenites, who were the people of Moses' father-in-law. He says, look, you have always shown kindness to the children of Israel. And he tells them, depart from this land, because I'm about to make war with the Amalekites. Then King Saul and his soldiers, they enter into the territory of the Amalekites. But he does not complete all of the words of Yahuah. He spares the king, and he takes the plunder for himself, him and many others of Israel. What the father said to destroy, they kept for themselves. Verses 10 and 11. Then came the word of Yahuah to Samuel, saying, I regret that I have set up Saul to be king, because he has turned back from following me and has not carried out my words. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried to Yahuah all night. Verse 13. Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said to him, Blessed are you of Yahuah. I have carried out the word of Yahuah. And Samuel was like, what's the sound of sheep and oxen that I hear going on? And Saul's like, oh, we kept the best for ourselves so we can sacrifice it to Yahuah. Verses 22 through 23. Samuel said, Does Yahuah delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the voice of Yahuah? Obedience is far better than sacrifice, a listening ear than that of a fatted ram. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of Yahuah, he has also rejected you from being king. I'm literally just going to read the rest of the chapter because I cannot paraphrase these things. Verse 24. Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of Yahuah and your words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now therefore, please pardon my sin and return with me that I may worship Yahuah. Do you see that? King Saul feared the people more than he feared the word of Yahuah. Verse 26. Samuel said to Saul, I will not return with you, for you have rejected the word of Yahuah, and Yahuah has rejected you from being king over Israel. Verse 27. As Samuel turned to go about, he seized the edge of his robe and tore it. Samuel said to him, Yahuah has torn the kingdom of Israel from you this day, and has given it to a neighbor of yours who is better than you. Verse 30 through 31. Then he said, I have sinned, yet please honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel, and turn back with me that I may worship Yahuah, your Elohim. So Samuel turned back after Saul, and Saul worshipped Yahuah. Then Samuel said, Bring me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came to him reluctantly, and Agag said, Surely the bitterness of death has passed. And Samuel said, As your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless among women. And Samuel hacked Agag in pieces before Yahuah in Gilgal. Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to his house in Gibeah of Saul. Now Samuel did not see Saul up to the day of his death, but Samuel mourned for Saul, and Yahuah regretted that he had made Saul king over Israel. In these chapters we see that King Saul failed twice to adhere to the word of Yahuah, and so he was rejected. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rejecting the word of Yahuah is rejecting him. He is not separate from his word. And if he has appointed someone in a high position, it is because he is trusting them to carry out his words, to be the example to the masses, to the flock. And King Saul just dropped the ball too many times. Deep in Word family, I will see you tomorrow. We will see that the favor of Yahuah falls upon another, one who is after Yahuah's own heart. That's all that I have for you today. Until tomorrow, Yah bless.